And Ms. Rowland, you are ready for Mr. Sparks, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And have you all received a copy of the pre-sentence investigation report?
We have.
And is there anything that needs to be changed on that?
Yes, Your Honor, we have a couple of things we wanted to bring up with the court. Under nature of offense on page 7, the 6th paragraph that begins "in the nightstand," we would ask the court to strike that paragraph. We would have contested the admissibility of those statements at trial. Similarly, on page 8, paragraph 6, the paragraph that begins "post-arrest," we similarly would have contested the admissibility of that paragraph. Under the family members, we wanted to make sure that none of the contact information was going to be available to the press or the public. It's very important to Mr. Sparks' family. And on page 16, which is the recommendations of our probation and parole officer, he references potentially undiagnosed mental health issues, that to be an overreach of the assessment and the information that he has. We would ask that that be stricken from the PSI as well.
Okay, Mr. Sims.
Your Honor, in regards to the 2 paragraphs in Ms. Rowland wants stricken, I'm not sure.
Hold on just a second, Mr. Sims.
Yes,
We've
sir.
got a few folks participating in Zoom who have not muted their microphone. If you do not mute your mic, it does not allow us to complete a record that is easy to hear. So be sure to do that. Now, Mr. Sims, what were you saying?
Your Honor, in regards to the 2 paragraphs that Ms. Rowland requested be stricken from the PSI, I don't think that the evidentiary rules apply to these proceedings. I know she said she would have contested that information at trial, but like I said, I don't think those rules and that prohibition apply to this proceeding.
What about the last request you made on the mental health issue? Do you have any objection to that? I think that's...
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Okay. Then I think I will order that stricken and the others will remain.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Is it correct? I know we're not allowed to distribute the PSI, but we wanted confirmation that the contact information of the people named in the PSI weren't going to be distributed in any way.
They certainly will not be distributed in the court process. Now, we need to advise Mr. Sparks, if you've not already done so, that what we typically do is make pretrial responsible for distributing the PSI to the defendant, and then pretrial responsible for getting the PSI and shredding it once we finished up here. So if he does that, I can't see that there would be any way that that information would get out to the public.
Thank you.
Okay. And then anything else to address?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Sims, anything for the Commonwealth?
Your Honor, there will be victim impact statements forthcoming. I know the family wanted more time to work on them. And I spoke with the court earlier, and I'm not sure their relevance at this stage, given the prohibition on his probation and those type of decisions. So we'll be getting those soon, and once I get them, I'll forward them to Ms. Rowland and to the Department of Corrections.
Okay. And
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Under the statute, KRS 421.520, it says that those victim impact statements are to be received prior to sentencing. And if they're not received prior to sentencing, then the family under KRS 421.530 will be given an opportunity to provide those to the parole board. But anything that's not in the record today, it would be inappropriate to put anything additional in the record after today.
Mr. Sims, does it matter to you whether it's in this record or just can go to the parole board? That's really all their concern is it not?
That's correct, Your Honor. That's all the Commonwealth is concerned about, is getting them to the parole board.
Well, and these were not formal victims impact statements. They have been, oh, no, I thought I had received some communication, but that's not in the record. All right. Is that everything that we have as far as input from either the defense or the prosecution?
Your Honor, I have Ms. Spurlock here in my office via Zoom. I don't believe she would like to say anything. And I think Mr. Spurlock, Cecil, is actually via Zoom from the gravesite. And I don't think he would like to say anything either.
Okay. All right. Well, this was resolved by plea 2 weeks ago. And Mr. Sparks, you agreed at that time to plead guilty to the charges of murder, tampering with physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse. Recommendation of the Commonwealth was 50 years on the murder, 5 years on the tampering, 12 months on the abuse of the corpse. All concurrent for a total of 50 years. I will accept that recommendation and impose that sentence. That concludes that portion of the hearing. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.